G'day guys and welcome to Retrospectreviews. I'm Vince and today I thought we'd have a look at the 10 arcade machines that I used to play when I visited an arcade. So let's check them out. Okay, so the first arcade that I clearly remember that I would gravitate to every time we went to an arcade or the local cinema that had arcade machines was the original Star Wars machine. Now this is the one where you actually sat down like you're in the X-Wing cockpit, and it was trying to do 3D graphics, but it was just line 3D graphics. I was terrible at it. I think I was only like 7 or 8 when we used to play, when I remember playing this. And I never really got past the first stages. I never made it to the Death Star, so it's a game that I should really revisit and try, but it's a game I have fond memories of, and one that I always tried playing right up to the late 80s. Number 2 on my list is the original Spy Hunter. Now that's an arcade machine that I would gravitate to every time we went to an arcade. I always wanted to get further than I did, but yeah, constantly I would run into the back of things. I did eventually get a little bit better where I could get into the truck and upgrades and stuff like that, but I think I never really got to the end of any level. I used to wipe out in a matter of seconds, but it's a game that I still gravitate to. Number 3 on the list is another spy one. I guess it's a spy one, but it's another one that I used to love when I went to an arcade, and I'd sit and have a go at it as often as I can, and that was Elevator. I had no idea what I was doing on that game, but I just love the idea of running around, jumping on elevators, going up and down. So I actually don't even know what I was meant to achieve with that. I just tried to survive on that game. But it's a game that I also gravitate to whenever I get a chance to play it. Number 4 is Paperboy. Now that's another game that I desperately wanted to complete, but I could never finish it. I always got tripped up by that breakdancer or some other thing that got in my way. I eventually get that on the Commodore 64, and I used to play it to death trying to beat it, but frustration used to drive me up the wall, and to this day I still think I've only ever got through 1 or 2 levels on it on the Commodore 64.
Awesome talk.
5 is Bomb Jack. Now, Bomb Jack is a game where you go around the screen. You got to disfuse all the bombs, I'm going to say. You had a little cape in that. I think in some other places it was called Bomberman, but that was one that it wasn't actually in an arcade. We did play it in a few arcade places, but most of the time me and my mates used to play it at our local takeaway shop. We'd order hot chips or hamburger or whatever we wanted to eat that day, and then they would have 1 or 2 arcade machines, and Bomb Jack was one that we used to play frequently when we visited that takeaway shop. Number 6 is Ghosts and Goblins. That's another arcade machine that I really wish I ever completed in the arcade, but it never happened. I can get pretty far in Ghosts and Goblins, but I've never really completed that game. So I used to drop a lot of coins into that machine trying to get far, but due to time, you know, like we'd be either out on a family night out, you know, go and see a movie, have dinner, and then me and my brother would get the opportunity to play a few arcade games, and we'd never get the long enough time to complete an arcade machine. But Ghosts and Goblins is probably on my bucket list of a game that I'd love to get to the end of. Number 7, now that is Rampage. Now Rampage is one of my all-time favourite arcade machines. I used to love that machine because you could play up to 4 players. So it was one of those machines where my mates or even my brother could jump on with me and we could play. I remember begging my mum to get that for us when I saw it was released on the Atari 2600. But boy was I disappointed when we got that home. And it wasn't like the arcade machine. But Rampage is another machine that I would constantly go to if it was available at the local arcade. Number 8 is Bonanza Brothers. Now this is an arcade machine that a friend of mine introduced me to. He had left school and had started working and hadn't had many paychecks, but he got, you know, one of his first paychecks. Wanted to shout me out somewhere, so he said, come along, we'll go to the movies and then to a local arcade. And after the movie we went to the arcade and he introduced me to this game that he recently found, Bonanza Brothers. And we pretty much, I think, sunk most of his paycheck in. Now, you gotta remember, he was his first job was a trolley boy, so that's where you go and collect the trolleys for the supermarket and return them back to the shop. And that's pretty much what his whole duties were for the day. So I couldn't imagine his first paycheck was that much. But this is, you know, early 1990s, so. You know, he wanted to splurge. We were good mates, and I think we pretty much spent all his money. I have no idea what his parents thought, if they asked him for any money now that he was working or not. But yeah, I have fond memories of that game, and even today, him and me still talk about that, and we play it constantly on whatever format we can have. Number 9 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 4-player arcade machine. Now me and my mates used to get together and go into the city and see a movie and play arcade machines. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was, I think the cartoon was out, but there were not many people knew about the comic books or anything like that. Then we discovered the arcade machine based on the cartoon. And we sunk serious money into this arcade machine, and between us and a few other people who would jump on randomly when each person lost the life and didn't have time, they'd be ready with their coins to put in to keep the game going. And with that group we actually completed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade machine. Probably one of the only arcade machines I have completed all the way through. And number 10 is Kadash. Now, Kadash is a game that I discovered, just came across it by happenstance, and I just loved everything about it. It was like an RPG, it was like a platform, it was like a choose your own adventure kind of game, like a graphic point and click game. If you could kind of, if you put them all together, that's how I felt about Kadash. It's a game that I still love today. I have it on the Mega Drive, and I think I've got a copy on the Amiga, sorry. But it's a game that I really love to play, and I searched everywhere for this, and I'd love to get it on an arcade machine. Well guys, that's it. That is the 10 arcade games that I used to always gravitate to when I went to an arcade. Now, I haven't been to an arcade in such a long time. They're a bit of a rarity here in Australia. The last time I did go to some form of arcade, I was visiting friends. It was on the Central Coast, and that was a long time ago. It must be over 10 years ago now. And yeah, it wasn't really what I used to know as an arcade machine. There was a lot of claw machines, a lot of those coin slot things where you put the coin in and it's got to slide the coins off and you win tokens or whatever you're going to win. Really wasn't a lot of actual arcade machines. I think they had Mortal Kombat there and a few other ones, but the ones that I loved were long gone. So yeah, in the comments let me know what your favourite all-time arcade machine was, and which one of the ones I've mentioned is your favourite as well. Don't forget to like and share this video, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I upload a new video every week. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching, keep safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Arcade machine. Let's start this again. Let's just